My brother and I had bought our first and last water skiing boat, a Bayliner. We needed a truck to go with it. So, after carefully considering our options, we settled on the most budget-friendly truck we could find. It was a little yellow Datsun pickup truck for $100. My brother Daniel bought it, thinking it would do the job just fine. Our first trip to the Susquehanna River, and it was our captain's first voyage. But we hadn't decided yet which one of us would take that role. I can still remember it like it happened yesterday. My sister sat in the center of both of us, and we were headed back home after experiencing our first cruise on the river. But we never factored in that there would be challenges. Going home uphill never crossed our minds. As we drove up the first hill, and our first attempt ended in failure, not being able to get up the hill, so we backed up again and again. And each time was just as unsuccessful as the first. We were establishing a pattern here, and we knew we had to come up with a plan. We determined that this could be accomplished if we could get our legwork faster with shifting and throttling. But that didn't happen. Finally, we decided the best thing to do was to turn our sister upside down in the cab, pushing down on the throttle with her hand freeing us up to work the clutch and shift quicker. I'm not so sure how we came up with this brilliant idea, but this had to work. 2 feet and 1 hand should do it, giving us the needed edge to get this accomplished, bringing us up to the speed we needed to crest this hill. We had backed up and were ready to do this, each of us in place and ready to do their part as we rehearse. Fancy foot and hand work was set in motion, bridging the gap of any delays between throttling and shifting that normally would occur by a single driver. Kenda was working her magic, jumping in on cue, throttling the truck for all it was worth. And our finish line was in sight, and we were able to crest the hill barely. We did it. We yelled, "Let's go home." Jesus always is present and watching over us as we live our lives, seeing all the good as well as the bad, and yet still there to help us. God is love. The little Datsun truck was out of the shop, recently inspected and gone over, and I was out driving it around down 72 south of the Renaissance Fair. It had lightly rained, and the roads were still wet. As I started into the corner, and the truck started to hydroplane, I began to spin around, and each time, I was seeing this Cadillac approaching closer with each rotation, and just before impact, I heard a voice say, "Lay down." So I did. The Cadillac smashed into the driver's door, totaling the truck instead of crushing my whole left side. It bumped me against my rear end, a softer impact, shoving me across the seat. No permanent injuries. I heard the sirens and the driver of the Cadillac saying to the paramedics, I didn't know what happened to him. He was there, and then he was gone. I thought, he bailed out? Someone who saw the accident called my family, and they rushed down. As they started to cut me out of the vehicle, I could hear my brother approaching and saying, my truck, look what he did to my truck." Till this day, my brother is still complaining in fun about what I did to his truck. I'll probably will hold off a bit longer before I give him the $100. I know now that God is love and cares about what happens to us, and you can have that assurance also. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved also.